Hi everyone, thanks so much for coming through to this video today. This is actually taken from TikTok. I did a live colouring in session the other night and I'm using the same video footage for YouTube so that you can also see. Now the reason why I'm doing this voiceover is because I was playing music in the background when I first started doing this session, and of course if I want to use this video in YouTube they won't let me monetize if there's other music that could be copyrighted. So I've muted my original footage on here of me chatting away to people as they come online. It wasn't a particularly busy night, so I wasn't chatting away for too long. I was just explaining here, this adult colouring sheet is free on my website, so there will be a link below in the description for it. You can download it and print it at home. It's one of mine. It comes from a painting kit that I've already done a painting tutorial on, and there you go, I'm showing it there. So it's a pretty cute one. So there's a video of that, and you can also, if you're in the UK, you can get a painting kit which will be absolutely everything you need for it. It's one of the longer ones. You'll probably need about 2-3 hours, but you can always break it up into an hour here and there. Stop and start me as you want me. So yeah, that's everything to do with that. Now we're going to choose coloured pencils first. I think that's what I was talking about here. We're going to go for some pink flowers towards the left, and we're going to have on the right sides, in the end I think on blue, but you'll hear about that as we go along the video because I hadn't decided straight away. I think I also pick out some greys and some kind of creamy browns for the lamb. And then I went and used some of those same colours in the bucket as well that it's sitting in, the wooden tub, whatever you want to call it, the wooden planter. So I'll be quiet a minute while I figure out what I'm doing. There we go. So I've picked out some pinks and purples for the flowers over on the right hand side. And I always tend to go for a light shade, a mid shade, and then a dark shade. But with, instead of having like the really dark shade here, I kind of went for a bit of purple, but I think I do finally decide on putting some red in the middle. So I went from light pink, mid pink, and then a red. So here I'm picking out the greens for all the foliage that's on there as well, all the leaves that are dropping down and all the leaves in between the flowers. So again, there's a light, a medium, and a darker shade for that. I'm trying to put the pencils somewhere where they're not going to roll, as you can see, but you can still see them. Oh, and I was just showing you there the blender pencil. So important to get yourself a blender pencil. What that does is it breaks up any pigment that you've put on the paper from your pencil, and it pushes it into each other so you can blend the colours really nicely, and it also pushes it into the paper so it makes it much smoother. And you can keep adding more layers on top. Try not to press too hard when you're blending, just rub it over. When you start to press hard with the blender, you'll find that's when you've burnished it and you can't put any more layers on top. So always go gently with these layers until your very final layer, where you want to be pressing harder and what's called burnishing. So here I've picked out some greys that are rolling. There's a light, a mid, and a dark grey. I'm not sure what I'm saying there, guys, but I think I was picking out maybe another lighter one. I'm trying to stick to what I have. I have Polychromos and Castle Arts, but I do also have some other much harder pencils. I think the Rexels. So I'm trying to make sure I'm getting the softer ones because I want everything to blend really nicely. When you have the harder, I think they're oily, the harder ones. If you have those that are predominantly oil based, they'll be harder. So my camera does go out of focus a bit when I'm doing quick movements. Sorry about that because I'm using my phone camera on this. I think that's me just keeping the blender to the side so I know exactly where it is, and keeping the pencils the other side. Just so I know where it is and I'm not having to rummage through all the pencils, because I do get in a muddle. I don't like to put my pencils away after I've used them if I'm still on a project. So here I am using the lightest value of the grey that I've chosen, and I'm just doing kind of circular movements, not totally with the point, but not totally on the flat either. Oh, I had to get something to put under because I have a wooden table, although it's painted over it and glossed and everything, it's still got wooden texture, and it comes, I always forget, it comes through when I colour. It doesn't matter when I'm on a canvas for painting, but it's the paper. Anyway, so I'm putting down a very light layer of grey to start with, and it gives me a base to kind of build up my colours. I know we always think of sheep and lamb as having white fur, but actually if you were to go much closer, you'll see creams and browns and greys, pinks even. They're going to be pink in the ear. So yeah, I'm doing circular movements. I'm holding the pencil about halfway up, so slightly using the point and slightly on the side as well. I think there's a bit in the moment where I show you that I'm not using it completely flat. There I turned the pencil. Always remember to turn your pencil, otherwise you'll just wear down one side and you will need to keep sharpening your pencil and you will use it quicker. See there, I just gave it a little turn again. Keep turning your pencil as you're colouring. A really good tip for you guys. I think I might finish the voiceover a minute, so if it goes quiet before the next bit starts, it's just the difference between the voiceover audio and the audio from the TikTok kicking in. Hopefully there won't be an overlap. I think I'd rather have a quiet bit than my voice twice in two places. So yeah, I'll hand over now. So I'm just going to go over the entire lamb. Now we can use the same grey just to kind of come in and show a little bit where the grey is a bit darker. And in the original painting I did, the bottom of the ears is a bit darker. I'm not pressing too hard yet because I do want to add more colour. So just press lightly. We're just building up the layers. I'm using it's not printer paper, it's thicker than that. So I'm using quite good paper. It's not Bristol board, so it's not the best, but it's good enough for a bit of adult colouring for sure. Right, so then we have some shadow here where the face comes down from the head to meet down where the nose is. Here. And just underneath the eye. But we will come over that as well with another darker grey in a minute. And there's definitely much darker under the chin and the head because that's creating shadow. And I mean, it's absolutely minimal what you can probably see on the camera, but it is making a difference and creating a bit of shadow. And in a minute we can just go around and do what I'm doing here and kind of blot shadows in. Because it's fur, it's all curly, we can't be too perfect about it. Okay, so that's the light grey done. coming in with the next grey that I wanted to use, slightly darker. I'm going to go over those areas that I said were a bit darker anyway, and they're easier to spot because you've been over them. Okay. We're going to do the inside of the ear in a minute, but we're going to focus on just getting the face and the body done. The ears are slightly different because they've got a bit of pink in there. So I'm just coming underneath that eye, just going over that kind of shape to create the shape of the lamb coming down to that point there. It doesn't need to be too much. Helps to go in the direction, which I didn't do then. So go in that direction and it will kind of create that feeling that it's coming down like that. Okay, and then just go lightly over some of the other areas. We're going to blend it in. Don't worry if you can see any marks or any strokes. It's fine. Okay. And I just want to come in with that darker one. And what we're doing is we're just kind of creating patches and curls of different colours of grey. I'm also going to come in with that creamy colour as well in a minute. We're just building up the layers and creating just a little bit of a feel of texture by going in and actually doing strokey curls in circles like that. Do a bit on the head as well, particularly around the edge here, because this bit will be the lightest where the light's hitting. Okay, so that's the greys done. I am going to, yeah, that's the darkest grey. So now we're going to come in and just where those curls are, I am going to create a bit more of a circly effect. We're just going to have fun with this and kind of create some nice curly feel of the fur. And do some on the head as well. Now I am going to get my blending pencil a bit for this. And I'm just going to blend the greys into the paper and into each other so that we don't see the graininess quite so much and we don't see the pencil strokes quite so much. It's a nice smooth feel. This is a Derwent blender pencil, but there's lots of other brands out there. It doesn't really matter what you use. They all do the same job, but I do like the Derwent ones, I must admit. They give a nice effect. Just want to see if I can get rid of that stroke there. There's one little stroke by his face that I didn't really want to have that. So that's gone now. Just coming round over all of my curls and kind of just blending them in. We don't really need them to be sharp curls because we've already got that drawing on the lamb. Okay. So now I'm going to get a little bit of the pink that I chose earlier And I'm going to come in and kind of just do some marks like this in the ear, because his ear is a little bit pinky. And here too. Doesn't need to be too much, just a hint. Get the blender pencil out again, and then we can try and get rid of the grain and blend it in. Don't press too hard because we don't want to burnish. Burnishing is when you want to go over it really hard and it kind of seals everything in. But we still got work to do there. Right, I'm going to come in with the creamy colour and add a little bit of life and soul to our little lamb because he's looking a little bit grey. And we're just going to go over some of the grey in little patches just to kind of bring him to life a little bit. Feel the tooth of the paper starting to fill up already. So the quality of your paper really matters. I've been using this paper to print colouring sheets for a while, and it can take a few layers, but then it's had enough. No more than sort of 4 and 5 you're pushing it. Whereas if you're using really good quality paper, it should take at least up to about 8 layers, I would say. And also it depends how hard you're pressing, and I can be a bit heavy-handed. Okay, so we're just adding a little bit of creamy colour to him because he was looking very grey. And I'm going to come in now with a slightly darker, it's not creamy, it's more of a browny cream. Just sharpening, sorry about the noise. I just like to have a nice sharp pencil. I'm going to do the ears again first. So they were pink in there. We're now coming over the pink with a bit of a brown. It just makes it a bit more fleshy coloured. Like it is there. There's not much fur inside the ears, is there? It's all really fleshy colour. Remember, this is adult colouring. We're not doing realism artwork here. These are free colouring sheets that are over in my TikTok shop, or of course links in bio to go and get them off my website where they are free. Yeah, so we're just having fun. We're not going for realism, so we're just putting it where we think we want it, and that's fine. So I'm just basically giving the little lamb lots of different shades of colours and layering up. There we go. There's a nice light cream underneath, so I'm just going to go over that now with this kind of, it's like a light brown really, but it'll just darken up that light cream a little bit. Now I want to come in with my dark grey, my dark grey, and here now we're going to focus on just getting a little bit of the darker shadows really dark, because that is what will help to make it look a little bit more real. Although it's adult colouring and it's not realism, we're still going for as much of a nice 3D feel as we can. Hi Rosie. Oh, thank you so much. How are you today? It's very sunny here. Where are you? So I'm coming in and I am pressing a little bit harder, but again, not too hard. I don't want to get to the stage where I can't add any more layers just yet, because towards the end I tend to put some real dark layers on. So I'm just creating a bit of shape on the forehead there, and we'll blend that out so it doesn't look quite so obvious. Using a nice blender pencil. And we'll come round, as you can see, and that's just blended it in nicely. You can't see all those pencil lines. So always in your colouring, Oh, you're in the UK too? That's good. It's been beautiful and sunny here. Right, so any more shadows anywhere? I don't think so at the moment. I think we'll leave the lamb as he is. We're going to go on to the lovely flowers. I do love colouring in flowers and botanicals. So I'm going to go for a light layer of pink on all of the flowers, but on this side, because they're going to be a different colour. And I'm just going to start with a very light layer of pink. And then we'll build it up. This is a magenta, a light magenta. They're polychromos, but I've only got a few polychromos. They're very expensive. But they're beautiful colours, and they go down really nicely, really smoothly, really easy to blend. These sheets are available in my TikTok shop, or they're on my website where you can get them for free. There's a few on there. I'm kind of building them up as I do my tutorials over on YouTube. Shouldn't say that out loud, really. I'm building up painting kits, and I'm also building up my own adult colouring sheets as well, which I'm hoping to always give for free, because there's not much free in this world, is there? So if I can put a little bit of free love into the world, then I'll do it via adult colouring sheets. And they are very much hand-drawn by me. You'll get them. There's no perfection in it. You know, that like the AI that you get is almost like a perfect drawing. These are hand-drawn by me. And you will have all those imperfections that naturally come with hand drawing. So be prepared for little imperfections. Now I am just doing a light colour of pink first before I decide to go on, and because the petals are pink. We're coming in now with a slightly darker pink. So we're going to build up from the middle, and I want to just make my flowers look more realistic by being a bit darker in the middle. So I'm just going in circular motions using the point of my pencil, and I'm holding it quite firm to the end. So there's a little tip for you. And then what I do, once I've done a flower, I probably won't do it after every one, but just to show you using my blending pencil, we're then going to blend that out into the rest of the flower. Try and blend the light into the dark with your blending pencil, and that way you won't darken up the end too much. There we go, because it does. We want it to blend, but we don't want to darken up the ends too much. Okay, so then I'm going to come in and just do that gently. And then I can come in again with the same one. We don't actually need a third value of pink. We can just come in with the same colour and just go round again and make sure the centre's really lovely and dark. So I'm going to do that with most of them now. Just want to make sure I have got enough pink on all of them. And these round bits as well, they're supposed to be just other little petals. The leaves are generally leaf shaped, and anything that isn't leaf shaped we can say is a petal. And in the middle, I suppose we're going to have to go for yellow, really, aren't we? Let's do a nice yellowy yellow, proper yellow, but with a little bit of orange around the edge. Let's do that. So in the middle, I'll put a little bit of yellow, and then I will, oh, it's not sharp enough, hang on. Needs to be very sharp for little details. And then I'm just, you can hardly even notice it probably, but I've just put a little bit of orange in there. I can see it, but you probably can't. Or you can just go round and put yellow and orange in different centres as well, just to vary it up a little bit and make it a little bit more interesting. Okay, I think that's all the middle of the flowers. And so I'm going to go in and carry on with all the other flowers, trying to make them as realistic as I can. It's so cute. Oh, thank you. I do love cute little animal things. Yesterday I did birds. It was like a 3-bird family thing. Little family of 3 birds. Proper cute. Right, so this is my lightest pink. I'm just trying to go round and figure out what I want to put as petals or what I want to put as leaves, and yeah, just go with that. Just building it up. Right, so we're going to go into the center, and Sophie, if you're still there, do you do any adult colouring at all? Thanks for chatting to me. It's nice to know somebody is there. Right. It's coming into the middle. And I'm just going over the petals and creating that dark center in all of them, because it helps to just give a little bit of 3D effect and brings them to life a little bit. Yeah, I think so. Rosie? Or did I say Sophie? Sorry if I did. Rosie. It's difficult actually to try and talk and concentrate at the same time. Yeah, I said Sophie, sorry. Right. Okay, so I'm still just adding some slightly darker pinks to the lighter pink, because again, that will just give us a nice feel of 3D-ness. We're not going for realistic because it's I'm glad you're okay with that, Rosie. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so it gives it a more realistic feel. And then I'm just working it up the petals. But I want the ends of the petals to be quite light and pretty like that. I have got a purple here, which I might introduce to some of them. Just purple them up a little bit. I might put some purple in that background. Where there's white space, we don't really want any white space in there. So let's just bring another colour in. Why not? We can, because it's ours and it's art and it's colouring in and it's what we want to do. There's no right or wrong. That's the good thing as well about adult colouring. If you're just getting into art, it's a good place to start, and it gives you an idea of how to get going with everything. So I'm just going to put some purple in here. Might put some green in a bit. Won't put so much down there because it's going to be part of the whatever it's called box that it's planted in. I think maybe just a few petals here and there could be purple. That's nice. And you can see, you know, the good thing about doing this with you all is that you can see where I'm just making the decisions up as I go along, and I'm not worrying about it because there's no right or wrong. Just enjoy. So now I'm going to get my blender pencil and I'm going to blend in with my pencil. I'm just going to sharpen it up a minute and get the pink off that was on there. So I'm blending in from the lighter part of the petals into the darker part there. And we'll have to go round, I'm afraid, and have that repetitive action of doing those. And then we'll come in and add our greens into this side. On the screen, it's looking a much more kind of vibrant fuchsia pink. On here, it's more pastel-y. So I don't know why that is. It might be just my phone screen. And did you say something about, yes, do you do colouring? Sophie. I'm only joking with you. Rosie. Okay. Good, good. How long have you been doing it for? Right, so I'm coming in with my lighter greens. Make sure as well, Rosie, that you pop over to my links, and there should be a link there to take you to where these sheets are free. I am charging on TikTok, but I don't really want to, but it's just so that I can get them on there. And anyone else who's watching, a long time. You're probably better than me then. Right. I went the long way round, Rosie, and I went into art first, and then just find that I really love to do colouring at night time because it's so relaxing. If I'm not recording, I'd put some music on or something, and it's just my peace time. I'm a mum of 2 as well, so life can be a bit crazy. How about you? Do you do it to relax? I suppose you do. Everybody does, I'm sure. Right, let's come in. I'm going to put a dark pink down here. So in between where there's gaps, I'm just going to come in now and put some other shades of colour in because, as I say, why not? I'm going to come in with the mid green. It's already sharp, yay. And what I'm going to do is go around all of the leaves really quickly and just bring in a bit of dark green in either at the top or down the side or in where there's a bit of shadow from a petal. Not thinking about it too much because the finished piece, it won't really matter. Anyone looking at it will just see that there's a variation in colours, which creates more of a 3D effect. Some of them could even be a little bit more. You could add a bit of brown in, which would help make it sort of more real too. I'm just going to add some green in the background amongst all that pink as well, just to show that there's a bit of stuff going on in the background. There. Won't need to do too much because we'll do the box in the background here. Right, and I'm going to come down with some of this slightly darker green, put them in the petals, doesn't matter where. I'm tending to do it like it's shadow on the sides. Okay, so let's come in with some really dark green, which I think is that one. Now, what gets me is look how dark that green looks on the pencil, and then look at the end. It's not even anywhere near the same colour. But I'm not going to complain because Castle Arts are a really good value set of pencils. So you can see that's really, really dark. It's almost black. So what I'm going to do on just some of them, I don't want to spoil it by darkening it too much. I'm just going to come in and create a bit more shadow just on some of them. I might even do like that one, a full one, nice and dark. Do a full dark one there. This one should be a leaf, but I coloured it purple. Let's just go for a nice dark leaf in there. Put some of the lighter down again. I've lost my light green. Where's my light green gone? Oh, there it is. Bring some of that in. It's sort of like a browny green, that one. Just bring that into the background a bit as well. I'm going to press into where I had the lighter parts before and just brighten that up. I think where I've got those pink flowers are, thank you, Rosie. I do enjoy it. And I think that's the main thing, isn't it? Is that we enjoy what we're doing. I'm going to come in with some red right in the point of those flowers. And you can see there, it's just really darkened up the centre. So I'm just going to come round. I can almost just go in circular motions and go round the inside of those flowers. And that just kind of builds up this look of them being a bit darker in the middle. Especially this one. This one doesn't have any dark bits on. Let's do that. And then if we want to, we can blend that in, or we can leave like some of the strokes there, like that, little spiky strokes. That's fine. Whatever you want to do. So we'll use the blending pencil. This is a blending pencil. I recommend for anyone that does colouring, get yourself one of these. It blends the colours into each other, but it also pushes the pigment into the paper and usually makes it a bit more vibrant. But it also takes away the graininess and it takes away the strokes, and it just kind of makes it all smoothed out. Hopefully you can see how that's worked on there. You can see there that I've got some petals underneath that flower. They need to be darkened up much more because they are underneath. So let's do that. Let's darken those ones up. But just as we're going around, we're trying to think what's behind what, and where is the light going to be, and what's going to be darker than the others, and then that's what helps to bring it to life a little bit. Okay, so I think we're done for now on that side. We can always come back and finish off. Now over this side, originally on the picture I did do some white flowers, but I'm not too keen on having white when I'm colouring in. It's all right when you're painting, it's fine, because you're adding white onto that nice dark background. But I think what we'll go for, let's go for blue, shall we? Why not? Let's go for a little bit of blue. So again, when you pick a colour, you need your 3 shades. You need a lighter shade, a medium shade, and a darker shade. I haven't even looked at the names, and I don't go by the ends either. I always go by looking at the nib and think, are they the colours I want? And I think, yes, they are. So I'm going to use this one first, and because it's my lighter colour, I am also just going to press lightly on the flowers over here, because we want to make sure there's still room to layer on the other colours as we go. So again, I'll go like I did the last one. I'll do one light layer, and I'll show you how I do the next layer. So again, towards the middle, I want to be a bit darker. That's the place where the bees are attracted, so that's usually a bit more vibrant. Trying to get the bees in there, and then I put my darker blue on, really, really dark blue in the middle. And then when I'm done, blending pencil, come mainly from the light end and into the middle, because you don't want to push too much of the dark colour into your light areas. Okay, so I'm going to go around first of all, and I will make them all look like that, but I'm going to do my light layers first. So this is kind of a repetitive task, but really that's why colouring is a part of mindfulness. We're just switching off and doing whatever we want. It doesn't matter. This is why I like to do it in the evenings. If I've done artwork all day for work, it's nice just to colour in the evening and kind of not have to think. So just one light layer of blue all the way around. Get some of these in as blue as well. They're almost just like little petals that are dropping off parts of the plant down here. Okay, so let's get the middle blue, and we'll come in from the center and just go in circles, pushing that darker blue into the light a little bit. This video will be available for replay over on another video platform that I shan't mention, hopefully as from tomorrow, and there'll be a time lapse. So if you do get the colouring sheet from me, the videos will be over there as well for you to check out. Okay. We're getting there. Now I may not finish today simply because I can feel the pain coming in my hand and my arm, and I don't want to make it worse, otherwise I won't sleep. What colouring book have you got, Rosie? Let's put some more blue here. Okay, now we're going to go in with the very dark, again in circles, but right in the centre. They're almost like little forget-me-nots, aren't they? But they're a bit big for that, but it doesn't matter, it's not real. It's colouring in, it's fine. It's fantasy land. That's why we like it. Cute animals. I absolutely love colouring books with cute animals in, or anything with flowers, as you can see. Hopefully one day I'll release my own colouring book. That would be a big thing for me. But there's so many ones out there generated by computers now, AI ones. So any hand-drawn ones, it's just almost feels like a waste of time these days. But I think they're just a bit different when they're hand-drawn. Not looking for perfection when they're hand-drawn. Right, I'm going to go into the background with the light green. I think I'm going to make some of these as petals and some of them as leaves, because we can. And then once I've got that light green in the background, I'll probably also put some on the leaves as well. I'm just going really roughly and loosely because we're just trying to show that there is a background there. I'm going to do that as a leaf as well, maybe that one there. Okay. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing okay. Tell me if my hand's in the way. I haven't heard of Power Girl. No, I'll have to look up that. Do you have, Rosie, do you have like a favourite animal that you like to colour in? Gonna get another green, come in. Just gonna darken up some of the other green areas that we've done. Just some of them. It helps to make it look more real, because you never really get just one flat colour. There we go. A bird with flowers around it. Oh, I love drawing birds too. Colouring birds, drawing birds, whichever. Right, so I think I might put some of the green down here too. So as you can see, I am literally making it up as I go along, because I don't want the fun taken out of it with too much planning. I know some people do, and kudos to you. If that's what you do, then go for it. But I'm very much, right, I'm going to start it and let's see what happens. It's just how I've always been. So whenever I do any art tutorials or anything, I'm always really what you might call winging it, but I'm not winging it, but I'm just making it up as I go along, if you know what I mean. Right, so I'm going to come in with some other greens over here. There's a few little specks, and then we've got the pot to do, and then we're pretty much done. But what I always do at the end is go round and put in any more dark values and really darken up some of those other areas. Okay, so the box, I'm going to go over the box with the same kind of dark cream that we used on some areas of our lamb. I'm just going to put some more in the ears. I just don't think they're emphasized enough. Just keep layering it up. I did say I'd come back, didn't I? And I meant it. And I think what we need to do with the eyes, where's my black? I knew I had black somewhere. You kind of need to give them, should we just give them a little flick, like they've got little eyelashes? Why not? We can, so we do. And should we just put some blue in there? Should we make the eyes a little bit blue? I have no idea what colour sheep's eyes are, but they're probably not blue. But because we can, we'll do it, right? So as I was saying, I'm going to use this colour that I have used a little bit of in the lamb. So we're bringing that colour back in again. Now I am going to turn my little lamb sideways. Sorry about that. But it's much easier for me to, on my hands, because I do suffer with fibromyalgia. And at the end of a busy day and then coming on and doing a tutorial, they can get a bit sore. So it's just easier if I go in this motion, rather than trying to twist round so you can see. But actually I'm showing you how to do it, so it's cool. It's all good. Right, we'll come down. So we're just going to put one layer of this on. This will be our lighter colour for our wooden box. And we can come all the way over here, because this is wooden box until we get to this line here. I don't know if you can see there's that straight line. Come all the way along. Just trying to get that first layer in really, and not kind of go over our flowers too much. But I didn't want to do the basket first, because if I'd have done that, I'd have probably gone all over the leaves. The leaves and the petals and flowers, and then I would have struggled to. Power Girls is on Amazon. Okay, huh, Rosie? Yeah, I will take a look when I come off here and see what that's all about. So I've not heard of those. Amazon is really good for colouring books. Oh, I haven't been turning my pencil, so you can see it's gone flat on one end, which you shouldn't really do. That shows that I'm getting tired and my hands are getting tired. My brain's getting tired. Right. There we go. So this is kind of where the fun begins. Now I haven't picked any browns out, so I'm going to pick some browns. I want that one. I definitely want that one. That looks like it's got some nice reddy brown in it. And I think I'll go for that one. And let's just see what happens, shall we? The joy of doing it as we go along and not planning. Right, I'm going to try and do it the right way up for you guys now. I did do it on its side then, just to help me with my hands. I'm going to go for this brown first, I think. No, this brown, because it's a bit lighter. I am going to put it to the side a little bit. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and emphasize the shape of the wood by going in the same direction as any wood grains that would appear. And I'm going in strokes so that I'm getting different areas of it. I might do a blob there that's thicker and just come in and out, weaving different lines. And in a minute, we'll blend them in, and it will just give us a nice mixed feel of a wooden box. And it's not all one colour. And then we'll start thinking more about the different values. We'll come in with our darks to really darken it up. So I'm pressing a bit harder now, which will help to, again, make it look a bit more real, where it's darker and lighter in different areas. I might do short lines, long lines, whatever I feel. And then we can come and blend in. So the magic starts here, blending pencil. This helps to get rid of the graininess without having to do a final burnish where you can't actually go over it. So it blends the colours in. As you can see, that top part now is completely different to the others. Much more smoothed out. The graininess and lines have gone, and we've really brought out the pigment of the pencil. So I'm going to go in between these bits just quickly because they're hidden away. It's the middle bit that we really want to be doing anyway. Just do those quickly, as I said. And blend it all together. I absolutely love blending pencils. They are amazing things. I first discovered these only about 18 months ago, I think, maybe a couple of years, and they're just brilliant. Okay. So now we're going to come in with the slightly darker brown. I'm not sure which one is darker. I think that's the reddier one. So let's just do some small bits with that because it is red. And again, I'm still going in the direction of the wood, but this is a slightly darker brown. So I just want to bring that in. I think I might bring it into the edges a bit more as well, just to really define them a bit. Okay, so can you see that? Yeah, you can just about see where that nice dark brown is coming up. Need to get some over here because actually in here will be darker because of the shadow of the plants. That won't look right if it's too light. We need to get in there and darken right up. There we go. And across here. So again, I want to kind of come in here. It doesn't matter how we do it because we're going to come in with our, just scribble it in. We'll come in with our blending pencil in a minute and we'll just kind of show that colour. Now I am going to do some deep marks like that, just to show where those little grooves in the wood would be, and kind of put them all over the place. Don't do them evenly. There could be some all bunched together like that, and then there might be some really separate and apart, and that's what helps to make it look real. So come over here again. I think just really darken up in there a little bit more. Get the blending pencil. So all these bits in here, they don't really need to have any definition, so I'm just going to go all over them, and we're going to blend those in, get rid of the pencil marks, and just blend the pigment into each other. There we go. Burnishing is different to this. It's exactly the same kind of method, but when you burnish, you're finalizing your picture, and the burnish pencil will smooth everything out, may even give it a bit of a shiny gloss look. Oh, I completely missed that little bit there, which is why it's good to go over and blend everything, because you do miss spots then. I'm just going to put a bit more brown in here because it's a bit pinky, which is fine because we've already got pink in the picture. And then I think, oh, I didn't blend in the darker lines, so I want to do that. Just smudge them a little bit. And then on the box, we'll come in with our final darks, which I think will be this one. I think so. Yeah. So what I want to do here is just darken up. Well, that actually looks lighter than it is. Just bring some more of this nice wooden colour back in. Can you see that? And yeah, just spread it around. Thanks, Rosie. I'm glad you think so. I think you're the only one in here watching though, aren't you? Because the other one is my other business, and I'm watching that on my phone so I can see your comments. So it's all you. It's just you. I haven't been doing lives for very long, so it's not a surprise. Right. Let's go for a very dark. Is that going to be dark enough? Yeah. Noisy, noisy, noisy sharpener. So I'm going to come in now with just some real darks, and this will be kind of where I come in now to do my shading. This is going to be really dark in here. And up here as well, because this will be shadow too. So now we're really working and thinking about our values and the light and the dark. So where there's something hanging over that wood, it's going to have a much darker section. Like that. Just around it like so. Same here. We need to really darken up where these plants are, because that's going to be creating shadow on the box. And then we're really getting there. I do want to go back into the lamb, possibly. Just bring him to life a bit more. He's looking a bit grey there. Our poor grey little lamb. We'll bring some, maybe some skin kind of browny colours, like in the box. We'll bring that in on him. So I'm just going over the box again until I'm happy with any of the detail. Again, get your pencil, your blender pencil out, and just go over all of it, and it just really helps to get rid of the graininess and blend it in beautifully. I think we need a little bit of that darker one down here as well, just because that plant's there and it should have shadow, and down here as well. Always have shadow where something is in front of something else. So I'm going to blend that in so that you can't see the strokes at all. It's just going to be looking nice and dark. And then with the black pencil, which I did just have, where are you? Where are you, black pencil? There it is. And I'm just going to come across and draw in the lines that aren't there, just gently, just to make the box look like it is carrying on over there. I still don't feel there's enough dark here. It's annoying me. So let's go back over that. I think this here, just no shadow there. So I'm just going round in circles around that plant till I'm happy that it's dark enough. It's not until you look away and then look back that you see where there's things that you're not quite happy with. So I always kind of, before I completely finish, just step back. That's better. Much better. Okay, and again, blender pencil. There we are. Okay, so I'm happy with the box now. We'll just put a little bit more of the dark in between each kind of piece of wood, because that will help to bring the highlights out in the middle of the pieces of wood, because we're darker here. So just coming along here like that. And definitely at the bottom. Okay. The LGBT community. Well, I have members of my family and friends in the LGBT community. I love everyone. Okay. So I need to get some browns on here. I think I just want to put just a few browns into our lamb, because he's looking a bit sorry and grey for himself, and he will of course have some in between where his curls are. You'll kind of see the fleshy bits underneath. How you doing today, Julie? Are you good? I think I might even come in with that darker brown. No, not that one. That's too red. We don't really want to come in with red into our lamb. Not too much, but we do need, I think actually what it needs is some black. Believe it or not, some black. We're going to go over the shadow underneath him, but I'm working in circles because I don't want a harsh line, but I do want to have a sense of a shadow underneath his head, bless him. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll blend it in with my blender. So that there's no harsh lines and it's blended into the colour underneath and towards the edge. And you can see that kind of makes his head pop a bit more. So what we need to do under the flowers is do the same. Just give him a feeling that it's darker here because there's something leaning over him. I'm going in circles, and in a minute we'll blend that out in circles as well with our blender. And there you can see that's created a nice feel of shadow. Just need a bit more here where the petals are, I think. Didn't quite go dark enough or out far enough. See, I'm getting quite fussy now. We could have stopped ages ago, but I just like to get it how I want it. So I'm going with the black now, quite gently, because I just want like a dark grey. And I feel as though if I go gently with the black, I get a really nice dark grey. So we're just creating in here a sense of shadow on our lamb. Like that. he's going to be mostly kind of grey because he's white, and a few little, like I've put in some browns and things. It just gives him a sense of a little bit of skin underneath. Okay. Hopefully that's shown. There's a bit of shadow there. And there won't really be that much in the main body, but what I can do is just come around the curls already there. And then in a minute blend them in with a blender so they're not sticking out too much, but it's creating that little bit of shade. Shade? It's not what I meant to say. That little bit of shadow. That's a sign that I'm getting tired when I say the wrong words. It's time to stop in a minute. But at least I've got this nice video to put over on a very well-known video platform that I shan't name. Tomorrow I'll put that up, hopefully. I have a busy day, but hopefully if I process the video tonight, it'll be up there for everyone to watch. Now, don't forget you can get these colouring sheets and others that I'm adding to all the time. It's kind of a new thing. Over on my website, they're there for free, and you can watch me over on YT, and if you know what I mean by YT, and you can watch this from the beginning to the end at your own pace, stop me and start me, and get all the way through. So there, I've created a little bit of darkness, and I think what I'm going to do is curl, just put a bit behind each curl like that. It's just these really little subtle changes, but they do all make a bit of difference. And just mix them in again. Comes slightly out from where the actual curl is. We could also pop a little bit of pink on the mouth area. We don't want to make him look like he's got lipstick, but we will just make it look a little bit more like flesh. And you can hardly even see that on the camera, I bet, but there is some pink there. And it just makes him look a bit more like a real animal, not a fake pretend one. He's real. He really isn't, clearly. And I'm also waffling now, which means it's probably time I stop. See, even though these are adult colouring and we're not doing realism, we're just doing fun illustrations, I still like it to have some kind of 3D dimension to it. And if I haven't got that, then I will keep going until I feel happy with it. Maybe a little bit more shadow under the eyes and coming down here as well, because that's what's creating the shape of the face. Going in that direction, and then I shall blend that in again as well. Might even just put a little bit around the nose area, and we'll blend that out too. You can see that blending tool is an absolute essential tool, I would say, when you're doing adult colouring. You don't want to be without it. It gets rid of all the graininess, and it really helps to create a nice blended feel to your picture. So I'm going to come in with a black again as well, a little bit, because I do like to have quite dark darks. When I do come in and do my final values at the end, my final dark values, just popping some blacks in here and there. I'm not pressing too hard because I don't want it to be very black, but there's no harm in there being like a sense of a feeling of some grey in there. And I'm just putting it where I feel I want to put it. There's no rhyme or reason. And I'm just putting the lines down because, as I always do with all of it, we'll blend it in with the blender. Don't worry about having lines there. So you see those lines, they'll disappear now, and just create that nice blended feel with the black pencil. think that was the sound of my phone turning off. So if it goes off and I stop recording, I'll say goodbye now, just in case. I'm going to carry on and just do as much as I can until it dies out. Thanks for joining me, Rosie, if you're still there. It's very kind of you to stay and listen to me waffle on. And I'm going to go on Amazon and I'm going to look for those colouring books you mentioned. See what they're all about. I'd say we're done. I'm going to stop there. So, take care, everyone. Anyone that's come. Yes, you're still here and you're welcome. Ah, thanks, Rosie. Have a good evening, Rosie. Hope you have a good day tomorrow. Oh, you're currently drawing while watching me. Who is that? What's your name? Before I go, I mean, my phone's about to die. And what are you drawing? I'd love to know what you're drawing. Whoever that is. Jess. Hey, Jess. What are you working on at the moment, hun? And I apologise if my phone dies. It's not got very... Oh, it's got 20%. It's all right. My phone warned me way before. Do you know, I've had a little thought. I might get my pastels out and do some background. Let's do that. Oh. You're drawing a girl wearing baggy jeans and a crop top. Oh, you're so good. I am an actual working artist and I can't draw people. I've never been able to. So well done you. I don't know if it's whether I can't or whether I choose not to. Because it's not my thing. Never just found it very easy. So well done to you. I think drawing people is one of the hardest things. So I'm using pastel pencils at the moment because I'm just going to come in and create a nice little bit of sky in the background. So this will go on now really thinly and in a minute I'll spread it all around. The joy of pastel pencils is that they cover a large area really quickly and that way you can get it done much quicker than if you were trying to colour pencil it. That's the joy of pastels, and it's really good to mix the both so you get the effect of the pencil but also with the speed of pastels sometimes. So I'm just putting it on in circles, spreading it round because in a minute I will spread it all round anyway. I mean, some people have pan pastels. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that. I've got some, but I really just love my pencils. These are 𝗙𝗏𝐻𝐵𝐻𝑙𝑜 and I just love them. I don't do enough pastel work because I really do enjoy it. I always just tend to use it for backgrounds for things. It's a bit of a waste. So I'm just going to come around. I might come up to about here, I think. And just make like a nice little rough edge round it. I think it's nice, like in this community, like the art community, we can all kind of be doing our own artwork while someone else is doing a TikTok, doing their artwork. And we're kind of all doing our artwork together, and I think it's nice. Oh, bye, Jess. There. Right, so I'm just going to push that round. If I can get my tools out. I've got some new blending stumps to use with my pastel, so I think I'll use the big one because I'm doing a background, and then that will just spread it all round nicely and we'll just have one nice clean layer of blue. It'll only be light, but hey ho. We could go over again and darken out, but I don't really want to because the main attraction of the show is our lamb, is our flowers, and is our plant pot. So this is just kind of like the sky in the background. And as you can see, when we go around with our blending stump, it just kind of pushes it all around and we're done. And I'm just going to make the edges come out as far as the pastels can, depending on how much I put down on the paper. And I'm stopping here because that's kind of the sky. Anyway, I've finished. I'm actually going this time. I think I may end up doing more to it. Who knows? So anyone that's come on, there are free colouring pages. This one is included over on my site. So you need to go to the link in my bio. They are available on TikTok, but you have to pay for them here, so it's up to you. And then this tutorial will be loaded up onto the YT on my channel over on YT. So you'll be able to colour along with me. All right, guys, I hope you have a really good night. Again, thanks, Sophie. Thanks, Jess, for chatting and staying. Take care, everyone. Bye.